when the cab's off the wagon, you can see a lot easier some of the fittings on the boiler. This is the water gauge. This tells you the water level in the boiler. It's got 3 valves on it. 1 valve there, 1 valve there, and 1 valve there. These 2 valves isolate the gauge from the boiler in case of the glass breaking. And this valve here is what we call a blow down valve. You open that and it blows any shite out the glass, so you can get a true indication of the water level in the boiler. Moving around, what they call a mud hole door. It's like an inspection cover. Cover's fitted from the inside, so it's constantly being pushed out, and there's a big clamp there holds it in place. In behind this is what they call the fusible plug. That's a bronze plug that's filled with lead. In case the water level gets too low, the lead melts and puts the fire out. You can see the level of there is well below the bottom of the glass. This is the boiler feed water heater you saw working on last week. This is the cold water feed in from the boiler feed pump, and into here we've got in the bottom there is a feed in with exhaust steam. So we've got exhaust steam inside this box. There's a copper coil in there. That's the pipe that feeds the water into the boiler, into that valve there. That's called a clack valve. It's a one-way valve. Once again, you can manually override it. That's the exhaust steam outlet from the heat exchanger. Moving further up, this is a superheater coil. This is wet steam out of the boiler, and it goes into these 2 steel coils which are on top of the fire. That superheats the steam up to a very high temperature. Moving around, we've got probably the most important part of the boiler. This is the safety valve. There's basically a poppet valve inside of there and a big spring. The valve's set to blow off at 250 psi. That's the safe working pressure of the boiler. That's the exhaust, steam exhaust, and that's a drain that lets water drain out when the valve's open. Moving around, there's a control here. This is a damper. There's a quadrant that works a damper, which allows the ash pan to move up and down, which regulates how much air goes into the bottom of the fire. Once again, this is the exhaust pipe, which goes into this elbow here, and inside of there is what they call a blast pipe. It's got a nozzle on it, and the exhaust steam goes up the chimney, it draws the fire. There's also a pipe here which goes into the blast nozzle. This is called a blower, called a steam blower. That blows steam into the blast nozzle and excites the fire, makes the fire burn a lot brighter. Moving round, there's another clack valve here. Once again, this clack valve is, you can turn it off with that valve there. That's a clack valve. This worked off the water injector. Steam, you use steam goes through an injector and injects water into the boiler. Moving round, that's the control valve for the steam blower. That's a shut-off valve for the steam whistle. This is the steam regulator. That's actually the throttle. These are the pipes from the steam superheater which come down into the regulator body. That's the main steam pipe that goes down into the engine. This thing here is a foot release valve. When you're manoeuvring the wagon, you can press that. It lifts this poppet valve and it dumps all the steam out of the line, which means the engine stops. This valve here allows steam into the water injector. That's wet steam from there into that valve. You open the valve and it allows the steam into the water injector, which injects water into the boiler. And we're back round again to the water gauge. This brass plug next to the water gauge is a filler plug. That's where you fill the boiler with water. Moving around the front, that's a drain plug in the boiler there, like an inspection hole. There's another one around here which has a valve in it. It's called a blow down valve. Every so often you open that valve and blow all the water out of the boiler. It just removes any shite really, any sediment. Quite important.
Alright. The what? I know they stickings on there. We're going to put out a vein strip. Right. Give it back a what?
Nice thick one. Wash up.
I don't know what you were fucking thinking.
Get a bone for that dragon, Richard.
Find that fucking like clear. I couldn't even find the one I took out of it. I'll have to mention I couldn't. I want to pop a little bulb to cast it nuts, you know.
That diesel here.
Careful. Oh, yeah, bugger. Alright. You need a fucking stick, you put them all in, mate. Aye. You better indoors, keep a couple out later and drop it in. You like a fucking wick. You fucking wick. You fucking better. Here, get this in. Nope.
Get on up.
You need that. Keep the ball up.
I've got a fucking lighter.
What?
At least I've got a lighter.
Going back away fucking cars. Two fuckers in back.
Two lighters.
They're like a straw. Putting fucking one litre fucking mills.
So this looks weird.
Why?
That fucking spanner yet.
Spanner for a spanner. What's that bloody gauge got? What do you do? Oh, and you just let the nip. You know what the nip is?
You need.
Lit? Right. Pass me that Stanley hooter.
The what?
Yes, I will do.
The what? Peel. Some peel on it. First do the peel at the back. And then on.
Just migrate some peel. Keep it going the whole lot. As long as it's go the hole, you keep it forward.
It's nice to see the light again, isn't it?
It is, aye.
No need a cup of tea, don't we?
We do. yeah.
That noise is just Richard turning the...
What, John?
I'm just on the camera. Say that noise is Richard turning the oil pump. Not a whisper here, like.
No.
Nah.
Champion? Good. Actually, it's stiff because it's cold.
No, mate?
If you just get stiff it's cold, that's better. That's what's tight. It's cold, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll just load up here.